The creator of Hourglass is launching a new makeup brand. Glamlite is announcing their new collab after they just had a collab. And I think we're finally in the dystopian version of the future that I've read about throughout my teenage years, because we now have skincare for toddlers. Who asked for that? Welcome to this week's new makeup releases. We're gonna chat about the new makeup that's been released, announced, a sneak peek, and we're gonna talk about some industry news. I'm gonna give you some options of what I think about the things that are going on in the beauty community. But before we get into any of the makeup news, let's hear it from this week's sponsor. I'm so happy to let you know that Factor is back on my channel and sponsoring another video. I love Factor. This is not a secret. Factor is a meal service that delivers fresh, never frozen, chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals straight to your door. You get a box filled with meals, pop it in the fridge, and whenever you're ready to have a meal or have a snack, just pop it in the microwave for 2 minutes and you have a delicious meal ready to eat. I don't know about you, but I have a tendency of not loving cooking, or especially not going to the grocery store, and Factor just takes all of that out of the equation. You don't have to do the meal planning, the grocery shopping, the prepping, the cleaning afterwards. Nobody likes that. It's just such a wonderful way of just mitigating some of the everyday stress, being able to have some meals ready to go when you need something to eat, but you do not have time for all of the things around it. Maybe you're working long days, maybe you hate going to the grocery store like me, or maybe you're just fed up with trying to figure out what to eat every day. Who knew adulthood was just waking up, having to decide what to eat, and then the next day doing it all again. Factor has 100+ rotating weekly options that you can choose from. Just pick whatever feels right for you. It gets delivered straight to your door and you don't have to think about anything else. And now the options also include double the protein options and double the seafood options, but they also have so many different options depending on what kind of menu or what kind of food you like to eat. They have a lot of vegan and vegetarian options, which is great for me and my husband because that's what we like to eat. But they have also extended their options with even more Mediterranean inspired meals, which is great because that's one of my absolute favorite cuisines. I love eating Mediterranean, and I've also started including even more seasonal veggies, and I love eating seasonal veggies, especially in the fall time. Absolute favorite time of the year for vegetables. So whatever diet you're on, whatever reason you have to not want to cook or not have the time to cook, Factor is such a great option for you to stock up your fridge. And they also have so many easy breakfast, snack, and beverage options. I love the different options. In this package, I got a couple of the egg bites, and these are delicious. Just as good as some other restaurant options out there. Just 2 minutes in the microwave and you have a delicious breakfast. So head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code AngelicaFB50 to get 50% off your first Factor box plus free breakfast for a year. That's code AngelicaFB50 at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free breakfast for a year. And like I told you, the breakfast on Factor is just really tasty and amazing. So this is such an amazing deal. And if nothing else, go into their website and just see their different options. Their menu, like I said, 100+ options every week that rotate. One of my favorite things, being able to get old favorites or discover new favorites. So thank you again so much, Factor, for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to check them out in the top of the description box. I didn't film any eye makeup yet, and I haven't really decided if I'm doing it either. I am just wearing a lipstick. This is the Hang Van Go. I think it's called On the Runway. It's a limited edition, or not limited edition, it's a website exclusive on their website. It's just a nice bright orange. It reminds me a lot of Check Please by Colourpop that they discontinued some years ago. And then I'm wearing Timid Tomato from Cinch Beauty on my cheeks because I love myself a good muted red blush. Can we start talking just quickly about Rini, which is, let me scoochie. My hair is looking a little frizzy. Let me scoochie to the side so we can put some stuff up here. I want to talk first about the skincare brand for toddlers that was launched by Shay Mitchell, I think is her name. She is an actress, and her partner and her best friend. They launched a skincare brand to apparently fill a gap in the market for skincare for kids. Again, I've heard a lot of people saying that this is like the almost like capitalism's final boss. Like, we're now filling gaps in the market that like did not need to be filled. Like, nobody's asking for toddler skincare. They don't need any kind of like active substances or like ingredients whatsoever on their skin. The only thing they need is like, I mean, SPF, let's be honest. And now Rini is launching with some face masks, one of them being an after sun face mask and one of them just being an hydrating sheet mask, to be like be like your parents. But I just feel like this is dystopian. Yes, it is very like consumeristic, trying to like tap into a market that really they don't need to be, this market doesn't need to be tapped into. There is nothing that needs to be sold to toddlers in any way, shape, or form when it comes to skincare like this. There is nothing that they need except SPF and maybe a moisturizer. That is it. And this like face mask, they're saying like clean and safe and blah, all those things, but like it's just so silly. Let kids be kids. We're already ruining everything because of this wave with like the Sephora kids that we talked about. Was that last year or something? I think so. I just really feel like we are going in totally the wrong direction with this entire thing, and it's making me almost like lose faith in humanity. Like, does this need to be a business venture? I feel like this is one of those where you should ask yourself, like, just because you can doesn't mean you should. I did do a get ready with me, and I talked a little bit more in depth about this and what I thought about this, the ingredients and the marketing, and some of the things that I have learned about texture and stuff when I was working as a model. I did film Get Ready With Me, and I'm hoping to have that up next week where I talk a little bit more about this, but I did want to mention it in this video as well because I do think that this has been one of the most talked about things this past week, because I will say the thing that did bring me a little hope when it comes to humanity is the fact that the people were just not having it. The comments are not having it. Let me actually read you some of the comments, and I feel like this one is really summing up exactly how I feel. I struggle to find the right words to articulate how disappointing and dystopian this is. Yes. Yes. This one as well. There wasn't one person who thought this was insane. Not even one. Yeah, I really feel like someone in the room should have been like, is this a good idea? How will this be perceived? Will this like be a business venture that will even make us money? Because I feel like this will be one of those where people will buy it just to try it and to diss it and to talk about it. Exactly like this one. Girl, did not one of your friends tell you not to do this? Yeah. And honestly, I think that maybe this sums it up the best, which says it's not too late to delete this post. And I do think that sometimes I understand they probably want to make their money back in this venture, but I really, really think that like it's not too late to just be like, okay, that's money lost. Like, let's just wash our hands of this, let's apologize, and let's move on with something else. Because again, just because there is an untapped market doesn't mean it needs to be tapped into. We don't need sheet masks for toddlers. Let's talk about the new brand from the creator or like the founder of Hourglass. So her name is Carissa Janes, and she is launching a new beauty brand that is called Outside In. And it is launching, I think it's already launched this week, and they are launching with a silk serum foundation, $64. It's still very much a high-end product, 25 shades, and then there is a brush and a floral reserve facial oil for $72. It says the price tag of premium makeup often raises well-manicured eyebrows, but investors continually show interest in catering to the high net worth shoppers who have proven themselves to be nearly immune to macroeconomic slowdowns. And I think that that's the absolute, like, that's the core of it. Because, and I know I say this as someone, again, who was raised in a very penny pinching household. But when it comes to things that are affecting the economy on the bigger, broader scales, it doesn't always affect the people that are already wealthy. And they will continue to shop like they've always shopped. It is what it is, hate it or love it, but people who are well off will probably be well off through a financial downturn as well, and they will still keep shopping for high-end makeup and for Louis bags, and it is what it is. It doesn't always affect them the same way as it affects other parts of the society. But with that being said, launching a high-end makeup brand now is risky. Not because I don't think it's gonna do well, but because of how it is perceived again by the broader community, the people who might never be their customers, and because of this launching at a more tough time, maybe is not even want to be a customer. Because sometimes people can't afford some things, but they still want to be able to afford some things. But then if you get the bad taste in your mouth for like a brand, it means that you might not ever want to try the brand. And I will say, I am very intrigued to see how people will perceive and welcome this brand as a new high-end brand launched in the end of 2025. Would love to hear your thoughts about this. I will not be trying this out simply because it's not that I have anything against high-end brands, but I was never the biggest lover of Hourglass. I thought they were just fine. They were never a brand that really was perfect for me. But how I like to wear makeup, which is, I like to wear visible makeup, which was never really the kind of makeup that Hourglass did. And if the brand owner is launching a new brand, I don't think that her philosophy with makeup has changed that much. And also, I do not need I need a new foundation, like I need a hole in my head. The Floral Reserve Face Oil is a lightweight face oil with pure seed, nut, and flower oils. High performance blend of almond, sunflower, meadow foam, jojoba, macadamia. Absorbs quickly to leave skin plump, hydrated, and non-greasy. Perfect canvas for makeup. There is literally, there is no world where I can go in with a face oil before makeup. My skin, it does not matter what they say this oil is gonna do. That's just not the journey that my skin is on. If I put face oil, it doesn't matter how fast it absorbs in. If I put any face oil on my face before makeup, my face is gonna be like, what you doing, bitch? What you think you're doing there? That's playing with fire. $72. That's interesting, but I don't need any more products like this. I will say right now, I don't really want to purchase anything for several different reasons, and maybe I can dive more into that in a future video, how I'm feeling about, for me, myself. I don't really want to buy any kind of foundations or anything like that. It could also be because as I'm filming this, I'm actually planning to film my declutters this weekend. We are getting into the declutter season. I'm so excited to be showing you the things that I'm getting rid of my collection, and it will be a harsher declutter than ever because I am also moving next year to a different continent. It will be fun. I've been following Victoria from In The Frow as like a fashion Instagram. I've been following her for a really, really long time, and when she announced that she was gonna launch her own brand, I instantly thought it was going to be beauty. There was no part of me that thought that she was going to launch some kind of a fashion venture. I honestly don't even know if that, because if you are a luxury, because that's what she is, a luxury fashion influencer, there is just no brand that you can launch that is gonna look good with your image, because they cannot afford to launch a new Saint Laurent or Gucci. That's just not possible. Maybe accessories, that could maybe work, but I honestly think it's probably better to stick to something else, because you can't just launch a fast fashion brand, because it's not gonna look good, but you also probably will not have the capital to be able to launch something that is truly a luxury fashion brand. And also there is a big difference, and this goes for everything. There is a big difference between loving something, wearing something, and looking good wearing something, and actually creating it. Just because you look good in makeup doesn't mean you know how to create makeup. Just because you look good in fashion doesn't mean you know how to create good fashion. Just because you're an art critic or a book critic or a movie critic doesn't mean that you're able to create the art yourself. So I think her doing beauty instead is probably smart, and it is exactly what, and I saw this, I was like, she's launching beauty. I will say I did not think that she was gonna launch these pencils. These are the first byfrow, so the brand is called frow. Frow means front row. You know, if you're a fashionista, that's where you want to be. You want to be in the front row for the catwalk shows. So this is byfrow product, and this is the pigment pencils. So these are lip pencils, or you can fill in your lips, or you can even use them. I wonder, because it says you can use them on your cheeks as well, or use them for freckles or stuff like that. I don't know how that would work, simply because of how, 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 simply I don't know what kind of formula you would have to have that is not too creamy on the lips, because you know me, I don't like something that's too creamy on the lips, because it's not going to do the job that lip pencil is supposed to do, which is keep your lip color inside of your lip line. Listen, you've seen it. You probably have seen it on creators as well. They have the bleeding of the lipsticks, the bleeding in the lip here. It's because they didn't use a good lip liner, or because they used one of those new modern lip liners that are so creamy that they're like a lipstick. But I also wonder, if you're gonna blend it on the cheeks, what kind of formula is it gonna be? So I'm very excited actually at like what this formula will be, because if you didn't know, I love lip liners. Like I love lip liners. I'm also wondering about these colors, like how they will look. I think it's a very interesting range because it is leaning a little bit more pinky. But the reason why I'm excited actually about this is because this comes from a different perspective. This comes from someone who uses beauty differently than me. A lot of these fashion influencers, they do more like clean makeup, and they use beauty in a different way, and I am intrigued to see how I would feel like a product like that. So I'm kind of intrigued by this. When is this launching? It is launching on the 18th, and UK time, of course, because Victoria lives in the UK. They also have a second product. I do think they're gonna have a third product. I saw some pictures they have a launch dinner, and at the launch dinner, it looked like people received 3 different products. So I think there's gonna be a third product as well. The second product is a lip companion lip balm. This is going to come in a clear color and in a more like golden shimmery hue. Again, I think it fits in with how Victoria and a lot of fashion influencers wear their makeup. It makes total sense. I don't know what the next product would be. I would not be surprised if it's one of those like glow sticks for your cheeks, you know, like a balm stick. That would not surprise me even a little bit if it was something like that. But I do find it interesting. This is a perspective in beauty that I don't necessarily hate. It's not necessarily the perspective that I come from, but it doesn't mean that I don't think it's a perspective worth listening to. So I'm excited to see what this is going to be. I might even check it out because, like I said, I do love a good lip liner. But yeah, let me know what you think about this. I forgot to talk about this last week, but NYX has released their Jelly Job Lip Gloss. So this is a jelly lip gloss in like a squeezy tube that still has a doe foot. Like this is how the applicator look, like they're doe foot, but it looks like a squeezy tube. A couple of shimmer shades, a couple of jelly shades without shimmer. Very true to how NYX releases any kind of new product. It is 2 million colors, so many different SKUs, so many different colors. I find it very interesting when they release things because they truly go for the amount of colors that they release. I will say, there was a couple of products that NYX have released where I've looked at the swatches and I've been like, this does not look like something for me. But then look at the swatches of these ones, they look incredible. I don't know if the photography is better. I don't know if the vision more aligns with how I like my makeup to look. But there's something about the product pictures of these and the swatches of these that make them look very appealing. So I might, but I also might not. There is actually quite a few drugstore products that are being released now. Let me know if you're interested in hearing my thoughts about them. Another one that is being released is actually these new cream Lumi Bronze Lipstick Soleil Bronzers by L'Oreal. This is one of those products that either will look amazing on the skin, like a soft, satiny glow bronzer that is a little sheer, or it's gonna look like an oily, sticky, metallic mess. I don't know which of the two. So this is 5 different shades, one of them being described as a universal rosy shade that I think is more like a bronzer blush all in one. It's a little bit more rosy in tone. That's not the shade for me, but this is a buildable creamed powder. It says creamed powder, but the swatches look very glowy, and I'm like, is that the formula or is that the shimmer? It's not 100% clear in the pictures, but a cream to powder formula that swipes on and melts into skin for sun-kissed glow like you bathed in the French Riviera. It says it's gonna set in place all day because it sets down to a powder, satin finish, $12.99, 5 sun-kissed shades. I don't know. How do you feel about this one? Because again, I'm not against... I do love a satiny, shimmery bronzer, But there is a difference between a satiny shimmery bronzer and something that's metallic and glittery, because we've seen both. Another drugstore product that is new, this is from Juvia's Place. Juvia's Place is doing single shadows. I'm actually a little bit surprised that not more brands have done stuff like this, because again, I say this as someone who have seen a lot of the things that labs are offering, and you can get something like this done fairly affordably if you just private label it. Not saying that they did, but you could. And the amount of hype a lot of like single shadows have gotten this year or last year, I'm surprised that not more brands have come out with their own version of a sparkly special shade in a single packaging, because again, I feel like consumers were looking for this. And again, you can make that happen kind of quickly and kind of easily and kind of cheaply if you don't specialize it too much with different labs. So this is Juvia's Place version, and this is a multi-chrome 3-dimensional pigment, ultra smooth, highly pigmented, endlessly mesmerizing. Sure, girl. One swipe transforms your looks, blah, 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 blah. $15, that's pretty affordable. And it seems to be 5 different shades. And I think that this is going to be one of those more like creamy, might crease on you kind of shades. I'm just saying that based on the swatches that I've seen. So if you're like me and you have those lids that have hoods in them and you find that sometimes those really emollient and textured formulas crease on you, I would say watch a couple of swatches and wear tests before you buy it, because just looking at the formula, seeing how they describe it, looking at the swatches, this could be one of those very emollient formulas. I'm just saying. More drugstore makeup, and this is from Revlon, and Revlon is coming out with a super lustrous ultra lipstick. This is a ultra rich radiant lip color, moisture in one swipe. I will say the colors of these look really beautiful, and it says that it's a care of a lip balm in the formula of a lipstick. So it's supposed to be a very hydrating and I guess very comfortable formula, but it's still pigmented like a lipstick. These are $15.99 each, which I think is a pretty high price for one bullet lipstick from the drugstore. I might be wrong. I think so, from like a drugstore brand, but you're gonna have to let me know what you think about that. I did look at it at Ulta, and I will say the shades look beautiful. And another drugstore product, well, this will be at the drugstore section at Ulta, I'm sure, and it will of course be available at the Colourpop website as well, and these are the new lip balms in the shimmery formula. You can use my code Angelica with Colourpop and you'll get some money off. So this is the Fresh Kiss Glossy Lip Balm in the shimmery formula. So I actually really love this formula. I just got the pepperminty one and I immediately broke into it. It is at my computer right now. It's such a great sweet mint flavor and scent, and I love it. If you love a sweet mint, you need to check that one out because it is affordable, it is available now, and it's just really beautiful if you like sweet mint. If you don't like sweet mint, you won't like it. But I will say this formula is really nice. I haven't been that much into sparkly lips, but I feel like 2025 was the year where I kind of changed my mind. So I could be into this. There is one that's called Peach Mochi, which is like the mochi. And I feel like the color looks very similar to the Rare Beauty Peachy Sparkly Lip Balm or lip gloss that I really, really enjoy. And I did see that I had a PR package coming in from Colourpop soon, and I'm assuming it's going to be these. There's also a vanilla matcha. I'm wondering if that's going to smell like matcha as well, because, you know, I love a matcha. But I'm very excited in the color Peach Mochi. Clearly, I have no idea because I really, really, really loved that peach shade together with the Radical Rosewood lip liner from my line. Those two together have been a combo that I have been absolutely obsessed with, and I feel like this could be another one that would go so well with that lip liner. You know, a while ago we talked about the fact that Trendmood was like kind of sneak peeking that they were going to be releasing their own product. Trendmood has this Trendmood box that is like it's not a subscription box, but it's like a box you buy and you get a selection of different things in this already curated box. And it seems like one of the products for the next box is going to be a under eye patches that is under the Trendmood line. I don't know if these are going to be sold separately. I don't know if this is the part of an upcoming line or if this is just something that they were able to create for this box only. I have no idea. I will say under eye patches like this, I don't think that that is that hard to manufacture. If you find a lab that does these, I am pretty sure that you can just probably say what ingredients you want in your little serum that they're in, pick what color you want, and they could probably produce them without you having to do too much. I'm not saying that that is what's happened here, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is a pretty low stakes product to start with as a skincare brand, because I think there are probably a lot of labs out there where you can probably just pick and choose and get a product like this done for you with their already proprietary like patches and stuff. So I'm a little bit surprised that they're doing something like this, because I feel like it's a little bit anticlimactic. So it says, a first ever product, say hello to Eye Mood, revived by Trendmood. It's hydrogel eye patches. It supports skin's elasticity, provides intense nutrition, puffiness, blah, 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 cucumber freshness. You get 30 pairs in one jar. And I actually do really like under eye patches like this. I feel like they, especially if you keep them in the fridge and put them out and put them under your eyes, it's actually something that really does help with making your under eyes look fresher. With that being said, I have used so many different kinds and so many different brands, and I am yet to come across one that doesn't work. And that's why I'm saying that I think this is a low stakes effort to do, that I don't really think that there's that much to it that can make it fail, if that makes sense. Because I think that the patches itself, locking in some moisture under your eyes, and especially if you keep them in the fridge for like the puffing, I think that that's the magic. I might be wrong, but I'm just saying I was a little bit surprised that this is the product that they decided to start with. Or maybe not, because again, like I said, I do think that this is a little bit of an easier product to make. Okay, let's talk about the Glamlite and Bratz collab. I know that they teased a while ago that they were going to do a collab with Bratz, and I think that it is like, it's coming now. So this is November 16th. It is launching. You can use my code Angeshka and you'll get some money off when you order from Glamlite. As I'm filming this, have only seen the lip kits. And I feel like I've seen the blush palette, but I haven't seen the eyeshadow palette as I'm showing you this. If you go into Glamlite, you'll be able to see the different swatches of the lip kits and everything. If I have the palette as I'm editing this video, I will put it in here and you'll be able to see it. But as I'm filming it, I haven't seen the palette yet. Should I go in and see if they showed something? No, I've only seen lip kits so far and some blushes. I'm sure there's gonna be like, you know, mirror, makeup bag, something like that. Sometimes they do brush sets, sometimes they do highlighter. So I think there's going to be a palette as well. And I think what they've really gone for here is lip kits, which, I mean, when Bratz did a collab with Colourpop, they also did go with lip kits. And I think that's because the Bratz dolls were so famous for their very big, luscious lips. And I wouldn't be super surprised if it was like the people who have own the Bratz brand, if they're the ones saying we want to do lip kits, because now they've done it both with Glamlite and with Colourpop. I've said this before, I am not the biggest fan of lip kits because I like doing my own lip combos, and I don't like being able to or having to buy a certain colors to go together, because I don't necessarily always agree with the combinations. They look great on others, and I'm sure they would look great on me too, but it's not the kind of like combos that I go for. So I think for me, I will not be picking up a lip kit, but I might pick up the palette if it is a fun and bright palette, which I feel like it could be with the Bratz collab. There is another collab as well, and this is from Trixie Cosmetics, and this is Trixie and Katya are doing a holiday collection together, and it is available now. There is a Trixie palette, there is a Katya palette, there is a highlighter, a blush, 2 lipsticks, lashes, and a hand mirror, and the whole collection is pink and red, and you know pink and red is one of my favorite combos when it comes to makeup, and I'm so excited the whole packaging has that. I have seen some swatches though of these palettes, and I think both of the palettes have a pressed glitter in there, which is not my absolute favorite. I really do like the blush duo, the one that is a half pink, half red. I think that one is really cool, and the highlighter seems to be like a pinky highlighter, which I think is really cool as well. I think this is a really big collection for being like an indie brand, although I don't know if Trixie has funding or not, if she still is an indie brand. But I think it looks really cute, and I will say, I'm not that much into the drag scene, just meaning I don't know about the queens, I don't know much about the backstory, but I did think that this collection looked really cute, and I like them doing the red and the pink theme, especially for seeing it for Christmas is really nice, because we see it sometimes for Valentine's Day, but I was really excited to see it for Christmas. Ooh! Also, we have now been able to see the Oden's Eye Christmas palette. Oh my god, I've had this for so long. I pre-filmed so long ago for this palette. I did have it live on Monday. You can go in and check I did 3 looks actually, because again, I pre-filmed so early. I was able to do 3 different looks in the video so that you can see how this palette looks. For me, this palette is a little bit too light for me. I really enjoy that they do different color stories for holidays, that it's not always the red and the green, because I feel like, again, the owner of Oden's Eye is Swedish, and I feel like these colors are like the sunset colors of winter. If you have never seen sunsets in a really cold climate, more north than the US is, you're gonna have to be like Canada north. The sunset in the winter are very pastel-y, very light and very pastel-y, and it was giving me almost like a little bit of a feel for like how sunsets look, like winter pastel sunsets in Sweden. And it made me feel a little bit nostalgic. I'm going home actually for Christmas. Me and my husband are going home to see our families, and it made me like long to see the sun go down like that and to see all those like pale pastel colors. So this palette, I'm pretty sure this is launching today, Friday, as you're seeing this. You can use my code Angeshka and you will get money off at Oden's Eye. Also remember that we are still having the Hella palette, the return of the OG Hella palette. We do have some still available. They will only be for sale for a little bit longer, and when it's gone, and we're not going to bring that palette back again. We brought it back because so many people wanted to bring it back, but once it's gone, and we're not going to bring it back again. So this one is launching today. It's $56.90 before the discount, and also gift purchase is that you will get there's tote bags. I showed that in the video on Monday, where you can see one of the colors that I got. There are 2 different colors, and you'll get a random one when you are ordering the palette. Actually, these tote bags are pretty cool. I've used them a lot. There's also a tote bag with the Hella palette in case you are purchasing that one. So if you want to see more about that palette, like I said, it was Monday's video. I am very excited about this new launch from Glow Recipe. These are the glass balm in Fig Bingsoo. I am so excited. I love Fig, and I love these Glow Recipe balms. I have one that I'm almost used up this summer. The red one, it is so pretty. And now this Fig color, it is this almost like pinky, slightly mauvey, and I think it looks beautiful, and I cannot wait to have this. Oh, they're even describing it as a pinky mauve themselves. It says it's launching exclusively on glowrecipe.com. I hope it's gonna come to Sephora too. I do receive PR from Glow Recipe, and if I don't get this one in PR, I will be purchasing this one myself, because this will be the perfect one for me. They all smell so deliciously, and if it's a Fig one, I am very excited. I did buy the Fig one from Charlotte Tilbury, and I think that that one is nice, but I don't like that formula as much as I like the Glow Recipe one. The Glow Recipe one also has a little bit more color to it, and I also think that the flavor of the Fig one from Charlotte Tilbury is a little bit almost too like dried sweet figs, and I'm hoping this one will be a little bit more fresh figs. We'll see, but at least I like this color more. But yeah, I'm actually excited about this one, and I'm excited about the color. I think this will be a good addition to the range as well. I do have the new one as well that they sent to me, the coconut one. The brown one, I'm pretty sure I haven't tried it yet. I have it here somewhere, so I'm excited to try that one too. Courtney Quarantine is doing another collab with Mob Beauty. They are calling this the Reverie collection, and it is gonna be 4 different eyeshadows, and yeah, 3 eyeshadows, a sparkle balm, and then I think there's going to be a lip gloss as well. The shades are really, really beautiful, so I think I'm putting this one in here somewhere, the swatches of the eyeshadows. Oh yeah, and there's the swatch of the gloss as well. I actually think this looks really nice. Like, this looks like something that's really nice. Maybe I'll buy this one. I'm kind of intrigued by this one. I might actually purchase this one. I think this one is available now. I wonder if it's sold out. Should I go and buy this one? because I'm actually really excited about this, and I love the vibe of Courtney Quarantine. Oh, I wanted to let you know about this one quickly as well, because I actually got some questions about this. If I knew whether or not the one size, the powder melt glass skin spray, if it was getting discontinued because it had been out of stock for so long. I think that we sometimes have forgotten how long it really can take to restock a product. And I just think they were trying to restock this one, and now it says that it is getting restocked again. It's back in stock. If you were looking for this spray, it is now back in stock. I don't know if it's on the website or on Sephora too, but if you were looking for this spray, it is a really beautiful spray. This for me is not a long wearing spray, but I think, and I've said this before and I'm gonna say it again, don't come for me, I think this does a better job at melting your powders together and making your skin look believable than MAC Fix Plus. It's truly a beautiful spray. So I put on powder product, and then I put this on, and then I set it down with the one size finishing spray, the one that's like a long lasting one. That's a great combo. I really love that. I have also used this spray on others to set down powders, and it just looks absolutely stunning. So I really do recommend this product. Speaking of restocks, I do get a lot of questions from people, both on the Singe email, on my Instagram, on Singe Instagram, in the comments here. When is the EO1 from Singe being restocked? And again, restocking things takes a really long time. So it is in production, but getting things into production, shipping things over takes a really long time. So it will happen. Don't worry. It's just taking a little bit longer, but it's definitely coming back as quickly as I can. I wish it could be quicker, but I can't rush production. Something else that we have seen a sneak peek from, and this is from Glaminatrix Cosmetics, and this is the Merry Chrissy palette. It has a little koala with like a Santa Claus hat on it. It is so cute. You can use my code Angeshka at Glaminatrix and get some money off, and I think it is so adorable. I have no idea when this is launching. Again, I'm guessing it's going to be real soon, because if it's going to be a Christmas palette, it better be launching real soon. But I just think this is so stinking adorable. Like, it's so cute. Okay, let's end with talking about this collab between Bobbi Brown and Alice in Wonderland. I'm always so confused with these Bobbi Brown collabs, because they keep doing these collabs. They've done a freaking Monopoly collab, and now they're doing this Alice in Wonderland, and it's always like, I don't want to say always, but it's never any like standout products. You just put like some packaging, like collab packaging on existing products, and I just don't fully understand the whole thing. Like, they put like Alice in Wonderland on their like the face base, the vitamin D face base, and I'm like, okay. And then they put Alice in Wonderland on the cleansing oil. Like, why like, who is excited about this? I don't understand. At least this one has like lipsticks that have the little twirl on it, that like it's giving something. And it is crazy that I am giving them any kind of cred for a swirl and lipstick. But trust me when I say that this is the most unique these collab products that they have done now for years have ever been. Somebody has to be buying them. Somebody has to be buying them. Otherwise, they wouldn't keep paying for these franchising fees to do these collabs all the time. But I'm just like, who of the Bobbi Brown customers are excited about this? I think that there's a market that I'm not understanding. That's what these collabs are telling me. Because every time I see these Bobbi Brown collabs, I'm like, I don't understand it. Maybe it's not for our market at all. Maybe it's for the Asian market. Maybe I'm just not getting it at all. Maybe there are people out there that are like falling over themselves trying to buy these collab products from Bobbi Brown and then just never mentioning it somewhere ever. Have you ever bought any of these? Have you ever been excited about any of these? I'm just thoroughly confused. And yeah, I think that was everything I wanted to talk about. I mean, there are more things to talk about, but listen, not everything is discussion worthy. We can't talk about everything. We can't discuss everything that's going on. And especially now, we are soon about to get into the absolute craziness of Black Friday. So also remember that if there's something that you are looking for, it might be on sale soon. it might be on sale soon. A lot of brands are having Black Friday sales. I will have a Black Friday indie guide. I always have that where I try to go through the brands that usually have sales and what kind of deals they're going to be having. So if you're interested in that, don't forget to check that out as well. I hope you're having an amazing, amazing day. I am getting ready to film my declutters. Let me know down in the comments if you're excited for the declutter season to be coming into town. And thank you again so much, Factor, for sponsoring another video on my channel. It has truly been helping me out here because I have not been in the mood for cooking at all, and I still need to eat. Still need to eat proper food. So I hope you're having a great weekend. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you soon in a chat to get ready with me where we will be talking about toddler skincare. Because like, what is going on?